Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the development diary from the team behind the new Skate game. This popped up on my feed earlier and I was wondering what this meant because we did see a trailer or a teaser during, I think it was the Video Game Awards or Video Game Summer thing, which showed off a very early look to basically say we're still making this game, which was good because it's been a while since it was announced. I've been looking forward to a Skate game for ages. We completely didn't get anything Skate related, or other than like the Tony Hawk remasters by the end of the last console generation, but seemed we didn't get anything for the Xbox One and PS4 eras. But as a young kid, teenager, I loved playing the Tony Hawk games, and then when Skate came along and turned it from like an arcade into a bit more of a sim, just because of the way the controls were, it made it feel a bit more realistic and less sort of button mashy. Kind of revolutionised all of that. I loved Skate. I loved the Skate culture back in the day when I was a kid. I could never skate, but I always liked the look and style. I dressed more like a skater kid than anything. I probably still do, to be honest. So knowing that it's coming back is a good thing. So let's take a look at the developer diary. I do like these videos. I did some on when they were doing the developer diaries for the WWE games, because it's good to get some insight into the behind the scenes. So yes, the gameplay is going to look very rough, at least I hope, because this looks atrocious. So let's see what they have to say for themselves on the new Skate, which if they're showing this, it means it's maybe a year off, maybe a year or more, but let's see. Yeah, so that was a little bit of what we saw.
We made it. I made it. I cannot believe it. Welcome to something that we like to call the boardroom. I'm Cuz Perry, one of the creative directors on the game, and I've been here since forever. I'm so stoked to be
seeing these old school skate shoes. I miss old school skate shoes. I used to have loads of Vans skate shoes, the chunky boys, some Etnies and DCs back in the day, like actual chunky skate shoes. These days they don't seem to be chunky anymore. I think what I used to have the Vans Rowley or Rowleys, Vans Rowleys. They were white and red, and they were the comfiest shoes on earth. I wish I could still get them.
Be here and finally be able to share some exciting.
The normal Vans shoes are still nice, although overly expensive for what they are.
Share a little bit more, and we've got some great people to help us. We're going to talk a little about how we got here, where we're going with the vision, and then talk a little bit more about the details, and then switch gears to talk about how you can get involved. Yes, you. And play the game eventually coming up quick. Yeah, that's a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it.
Very teasy there.
Awesome team members.
Coming up
I'm going to
quick.
ask them to introduce themselves, what they do, and also why they're stoked to be here. Isabel, Dan, Brandon. Who are you? Because I don't know, obviously, because I said Dan and Isabel. And tell us what you do on Skate and what your favorite thing about working on Skate is.
Hi everyone, my name is Isabelle Mocard.
Oh, bonjour, Isabelle.
My favorite thing about working on Skate is helping build a completely new experience within an established and beloved franchise.
Look like they were testing population there to see how well it runs with more and more people around.
Hi, I'm
See if it crashes. Stress testing.
Full Circle. I'm just really pumped to be here. We got a lot of awesome stuff to cover.
What's up, guys? I'm Brandon. Stream on Twitch. Big fan of the Skate series.
That's not... I'm going to sound like an old man. It's not a job. In video game development, that's not a job. You're PR. You're free PR. That's what you are.
Skate 3 is my favorite game of all time. And
You will say it's your favourite game of all time. You're probably getting paid to sit there. I'd say the same thing. Even, I don't know what, my favourite game of all time. Probably, Push, Uncharted 2, Sonic 2. There's a lot of 2. Mass Effect 2. Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy.
and I'm here to maybe find out a little bit more information about the game from these.
So this guy seems he's going to be us, the gamer, asking gamer questions that haven't already been vetted and probably fed to him.
devs.
We're going to get the screws from the Avalanche. All right.
I don't need the subs on.
We launched Skate 3 over 12 years ago, and what a surreal journey it's been.
12 years.
We had to do some waiting, but finally the time.
We had to do some waiting because EA enveloped everything that we had, destroyed the studios, sold everything off, and everyone that worked on it is probably somewhere else.
Time came, you guys, were so positive about it, and EA eventually said, give us a pitch. A pitch was put together, it was greenlit, and then things have been just coming
It's amazing that the higher ups at EA even have to say to these people, give us a pitch. They should be coming to them and saying, hey, you guys, I know some of you made this game 12 years ago. There's been some internet buzz since the release asking for Skate 4 or asking for a future series. Would you guys be interested in doing this? It's amazing that they come to them and we're like, do you want to give us a pitch? It just shows how out of touch the higher ups at EA really are.
Since then. And what we're talking about is an authentic evolution of Skate, the Skate franchise.
What the hell was
And
that
what
trick
we're
going
talking
on?
about
Watch
is an
this.
Authentic evolution of Skate, the Skate franchise, but also one that reflects where skateboarding and gaming is in the real world. The best part about it, for all you fans that are expecting Skate, Skate is at the core, the essence of what it is. It still feels like Skate. It's got all the fun, the toys there. It has that visceral feeling, but also it's got the chaos, the slams, you know, the fun with physics, all the stuff that made first Skates fun,
Yeah.
and we want to continue doing it.
Those challenges, when they brought in the ragdoll challenges of being able to like throw yourself off, and it was almost like the human version of Burnout, the crash mode. Like, that was a lot of fun.
We have a lot of new features that are going to get a lot of new people stoked on it. And, okay, this is the big news. Drum roll. Where is it going to take place? San Amsterdam. That's right, San Amsterdam. It's a whole new city. Whole new city.
I wonder what it's inspired by. Is it a mix of San Francisco meets Amsterdam?
But I like to kind of think of it as a sister city to our old beloved San Vanalona. Okay, I've been fire hosing you a bit, so it's time to kick it on over to Dan and tell us about Full Circle, our studio making it.
Yeah.
Izzy's head's in the way. Oh, hey, Dan.
Appreciate it. Yeah, like Cuz said, you know, things definitely moved fast after we were greenlit for this project, and it didn't take long before Full Circle was formed and Skate was in full swing. So we're
Oh, so
That's incredible. Can you tell us a little more about it?
yeah, you know,
the brand new studio. So they probably just scooped a load of people internally from EA to start a new team. I thought this were like a team that came up with a pitch and moved forward with it that way, not a few people developed an idea and a pitch and then created a team around it. But the weird world of EA.
Full Circle is a little bit different than a lot of studios. We were born during the pandemic, right? So the studio's mostly remote with people all over North America, in Vancouver, in Montreal, Seattle.
That means it's going to take ages to develop because everyone's at home, taking their leisurely time to do most things.
Orlando, LA, all over the place, and
Any game that's been made during the pandemic times has taken longer because they're not having them one-to-one proper sit-down meetings where they can play a game, do things. Everything's over Zoom. Everything's over downloading and uploading files to servers and things like that. Everything's just taking longer because, I presume, people have sold off buildings. There's probably no longer big buildings where they can house all these people, or as these are Americans, they're probably too scared to go back to the office. I'd go back to the office.
you know, really coming
They haven't
together
asked
to
me.
build this awesome product.
I'll stay at home.
The cool thing is that we have a lot of people from the original Skate team, like Cuz.
But even in the world that I work in, which is more video production, it's taking its toll. Things take a lot longer, but we're not releasing massive things like this. We're doing what I do is different. So I could imagine if I might actually talk to some people. Where I work, there's a game company just up the road. The next time I'm in, I might ask them how it's affected, because I never see them anymore. They've got a massive building.
Authentic evolution of the Skate franchise that can be enjoyed by all players for years to come. To do that, we're embracing and building on everything our community found special about the previous games, and is giving.
So what? Let's see what some of these are. So it would be awesome if Skate 4 would come out, having climbing to reach higher areas. That yeah. Some of the modes where you're like off your board and you're running round, grind combos. Yes, PC support. Who cares? Enjoyed realistic or unrealistic. I'd prefer it being more on the sim real world side. I know it has the goofiness, but not to the side where it's like you're doing like massive, like 8,000 turns like Tony Hawk did. Actual fisheye lens, that'd be quite good for doing the replays Like when you've done your run, you go back, look at it, and you can give it that old school look.
Giving us feedback on day to day.
So, Skate 4.
Nope. Okay, throw the bottles and everything at me now. No, it's not Skate 4. And here's the reason. This isn't a sequel. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot, a prequel. It's not any of that. It's not a remake, a remaster, whatever Re can do. This is it. It's Skate. We're in it for the long haul. That means we're not an iterative title. There won't be a Skate 5 through 10. We won't be pumping them out all the time. We're going to do this. We're going to listen to what you guys say over the course of time and put the features that you guys want into it. Okay, and one more time for the people in the back. It's Skate. It's not Skate 4, just Skate. Period. That's why we put a little period.
That's fine. Skate. It's the new version of Skate. It is essentially a reboot. I know I said it's not a reboot, but it is. It's a whole new thing called Skate. Kind of worrying what he's saying, where it's not going to be an iteration. That makes it sound like it's going to be a live service, an always online thing, because if it's always evolving, you can't have a disc version, because the disc version will mean that when you put it in, it's like, oh, you need the new patch that's 86 gigabytes, and you need to put all that stuff in.
That's right. We have the ambition to keep supporting Skate for years to come. From the very inception of Skate, the development team knew we wanted to create something different. Our vision was not a game that you play through and beat, but something that you can regularly come back to and discover new things.
It's not too bad. I would quite like it if it was similar in the sense that we have a story mode. Because if it's just an always online multiplayer, Skate might be fine, but could I not have that? Like, could I have a version where you can say, yes, I want to be in the world with everyone else, and you get, see everyone, or could I just go in it and play it as myself and there's just NPC skaters around? Because I could imagine if it's going to be an online thing, it might get quite chaotic. From even the pre-alpha scenes we're seeing, if there's like 50, 60, 70 people in the area you're in, they're going to break your lines. They're going to break into you. They're going to jump into you, bump into you. I kind of not want that. I'd kind of want a feature where it's like, do you want to go into the open world with everyone, or do you just want to do your own thing? I'd rather have that.
That Skate never ends. And in order to do that, we'll be actively supporting Skate with new gameplay elements and tweaks, new content releases and events, and lots of seasonal drops. The launch of Skate is really just the beginning of what we want to do with this game.
It sounds a bit like I think it's a playground feature in NBA, the 2K games, where the main game is essentially the basketball season. You pick a team, join it, and you just do the seasons, try to win, bring people in and out. But what they're always trying to push you in is the area where you go and play online with friends, and you start off wearing just nothing, pretty much just bog standard stuff, but then you win coins to win a Jordan shirt, a Jordan branded shirt, or a Nike shirt, or do you want some Nike shoes? Well, you got to earn that by doing this, or paying money to get stuff. The good thing about Skate was, in the story mode, from how I remember from the last time I played it, you would do certain things, and if you beat the criteria for that mission, then you would earn the coins to go to the shop and buy trainers, or you'd win things, or you'd get signed up to go do an event for Etnies, and at the end you'd win some stuff. Like, I want that in there. I don't want it to be microtransaction loot box city, which 5 minutes in, it feels like they're gonna get to that announcement.
I gotta stop you. You said launch. When?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Maybe not tomorrow,
Oh.
but it might be a little cliche, but
It's ready when it's ready. Yeah.
And we really mean that, right? The team's gonna talk.
Things are never ready if they're always online, because there'll always be patches, and it'll be classed as new content here and there. A game is never finished because they will never finish it. They'll never be given the deadlines. They don't have to worry about the fact that it has to go gold and go on a disc, and what is on a disc is it. It's no longer like that. and I'd wish we had that sort of formality back, because in 10 years' time, what happens if I want to put one of my PS5 discs in and play it, and like what's happening with Ubisoft now, the servers are dead, there's no patches, do I have to play the bug-ridden game that is on disc? What I'd like is, if they're going to do this, when a game is finished, put that finished version on a bloody disc so people can have the finished version.
More about our approach to development in a little bit. Like I said, we really wanted to get as much feedback from our players as possible. We wanted to feel good, and when the
I
experience
was coming
was
into
just
this with
right,
excitement, but now I'm getting a bit sort of like,
We
ooh,
wanted to
oh no.
remove as many barriers to entry as possible so that everyone can play together on day one, regardless of price or platform. So that's why the next Skate game will be a free-to-play title,
Oh, bollocks.
available to gamers.
Why are you smiling, mate? You should be worried. You should be worried. You know what this means. Free to play, loot boxes, transactions. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. I haven't even noticed this. That's probably why it's getting almost, half and half, like to dislike ratio. Shillboy here, in his mind, is smiling, nodding along, but in his head he's like, it's fucked. It's fucked. It's over.
Around the world.
We believe that making it free to play helps us with that, because I was talking with a few
Okay, it's free to play. Let's take a moment here, guys. It's free to play. EA like money, and they've probably given you lots of money to develop this game and to come up with a team and house you in this very swanky looking office. EA don't do things for free. That's worrying. That's worrying. That's worrying.
of you guys in the community, and everyone's like, I didn't play
What a
Skate
shame.
1 or Skate 2, and we're like, why not? Couldn't afford it. Or he was on PlayStation, they were on Xbox, and I was like, okay. So
Things back in the day were, a game was like Skate 3 when it came out was probably like £40, and then you could get it a year later for like 20. These days you could probably pick it up for like a £5 or less. These days a brand new game is £70. Ridiculous price. And then again, it's broken most of the time. Even when it's brand new, it always has a day one patch.
we want the whole world to fall in love with what we love, skateboarding, the culture, and the game.
Yeah, and to build up.
You can do those without making it free to play. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a subscription service as well, where it'll be similar to, I think it was how Fallout was doing theirs at the beginning, where it's like you pay standard subscription service money, £10 a month, and you will get first access to an event, or you will get seasonal bundles of clothing, or this and that. You get extra tricks. How about even tricks? Tricks are going to be locked behind a wall at this point, aren't
We
they?
really want folks to get the most value out of their playing experience.
I'm
as
losing
possible,
interest.
and be able to play on their
Very
favorite
quick.
platforms the way that they like to play. And so Skate will be full cross-play and cross-progression across last gen,
Shillboy.
next gen, and PC.
Yeah,
We'll
boy.
take you to
Yeah.
further
Oh,
and,
yeah. Bring it on.
As we're
No,
continuing
mate.
down this
Shit.
road and do the same thing with mobile, right? We want cross
Ah, fuck off. Fuck off. It's going to be next gen PC mobile.
play and cross progression on mobile. We're pretty early on mobile, but we want to get the controls and everything to feel great. And when that's ready, we'll bring it all together, and you'll be able to play on whatever platform you want with your friends, and that's gonna be awesome. And that's kind of this, we called it our no barriers approach, and really opening up the city for everyone.
That's all great, but you guys probably know what I'm about to ask you.
Yeah, because they wrote the script for you, mate. They wrote the script for you.
Microtransactions in the game?
Yes. We knew that to support a never-ending, ever-evolving, free-to-play world of Skate, we'd have to look into different models for the game itself,
Fuck off.
which means that there will be microtransactions. And we know that this is
Hey, watch this mouse. Watch this. You can get fucked.
sensitive subject. That's why when we decided to explore this model, we made some hard ground rules to follow. The first one is that Skate is not pay to win. There are no areas of
Well, there's no win. There's no win. You're just skating. Unless there's tournaments. They're going to put tournaments on, and they're going to lock tricks behind a paywall, and those tricks will help you win because they'll be worth more in the, calculations of your run.
of gameplay or the map that you have to pay.
No maps
to
behind a
unlock.
paywall.
There won't be any loot boxes.
Let's come back to this in 3 years' time, guys, and let's see if they held their promise on this.
And there's no gameplay altering advantages that you can pay for as well. And
So what are the loot boxes for?
doesn't mean that you get some watered down Skate either. This is going to be an authentic, bigger than ever game for the.
What are the loot boxes for? Is it literally just to get the clothing? Because I'll happily go around as default boy if it means that I don't have to give you money so I can get a nice looking Nike hoodie or jean shorts or some sweet pink Vans.
All makes sense, but I have to say, still a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and I think that's understandable. You know, when we were looking at this model, we looked at versions of it out there that we liked and those we didn't. And we are still continuing to.
Examples, please. Show me an example of something that's good. Are you going to go down the Valorant run, where if you want to change your hairstyle, it's £20? Like a Nike hoodie is going to cost you the equivalent of going to the store and buying the real thing?
We explore different options, but we are taking
Madame,
inspiration from games like
where?
Apex Legends or other popular titles that are free to play, where spending money is totally optional and it's mostly about cosmetics and convenience.
There we go. There we go. Convenience. If you don't want to grind, quite literally, in this case, just give us some fucking money, mate. Just give us some money. And you don't have to play the game for 86 hours to win some high-top Adidas socks or some old school 80s yellowing trainers that you got from a thrift store. Like, this is going downhill
We'll
quick.
be able to keep the community united between the players who decide to spend and those who don't. And that means that those social connections, those friendships made in game can flourish without
Friendships made in games. What utopia world are you living in, woman? Things like this don't exist.
Yeah, that was something that we didn't want to repeat from previous Skate games, right? Every time someone bought DLC, we were splitting that audience into smaller and smaller groups. So, now our players can unlock, can enjoy many hours of the game without spending any money. And
What were you about to say then? What were you about to say before you backtracked and moved forward?
they can unlock cosmetics like they did in the past. And I think that's going to be something that brings in a whole new set of players that.
Oh, they're not pink
can make
Vans, they're
friends
pink
and play together.
high tops.
We're excited about that.
What we believe is that this free-to-play model will allow us to deliver the best game possible for years to come from launch.
I like your energy, dude.
And we'll
I'm not
continue
falling
to be
for it.
transparent with it and what we're planning to do and what we're going to ask for feedback and as we get closer to worldwide launch.
Perfect segue. Like I mentioned a couple times now, feedback is at the core of everything that we're doing at Full Circle, and we want to involve as many people and get that feedback integrated. We're gonna have people from the team that are gonna come and talk more about exactly how we're gonna go about doing that.
All right.
I'm now
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the default character looks like this. And you can see people getting around low poly, low texture boys and girls.
joined by
But if you want some realistic stuff going on, do you want some good pixels? Do you want some realism going on? Cough up, kiddo. Cough up.
3 more developers who are working on the upcoming title.
We switched them
Who are you
round.
guys, what do you do with Skate, and what's your favorite thing about working on Skate?
Go for it, Donk.
Hi, I'm Andrea Gonçalves and I'm a designer on Skate. My favorite thing about this project is to be able to bring the diversity of the skateboarding community into St. Amsterdam and allow everyone to represent themselves in our world.
Oh, those are good. You ticked off some political talking points there. Well done, girl. Well done, girl. Are you off to an Antifa rally after this?
Everyone, I'm Mike McCartney. I'm executive producer on Skate. I'm a veteran of the original series of Skate games and coming back to work on this franchise that has such an amazingly passionate
Coming
development
back
team,
after
as well as
going
an
elsewhere
amazingly passionate
because I lost my job.
It's such an honor. It just keeps me excited to work on this project every day.
And I'm Darren, creative director, partnering with Cuz, and like Mike, worked on the first 3 games, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited that it exists. I'm excited that we're doing it. You know, it's pretty crazy. It's been 12 years. It's been a long road to get here, but
12 years is a crazy amount of
super
time.
stoked to be here, obviously. And you know, before we move forward, I just wanted to say like a quick thank you to you, to the community, for like the last 12 years of playing and passion and posts and you know, trolling our Instagram account. And like I've said, you know, previously you guys commented us into existence, and you know, we wouldn't be
Which
here
is a
without-
good thing, which is strange. It's like they commented us into existence, but it had to be EA that came to them. You had to still pitch it. You commented it into existence, but it still had to go through some weird idea of having to be pitched rather than looking. All you need to do is look at the IPs that EA have that are dead, that people would love things from. All it's like, they probably came to them and were like, look, people are asking for another skate. How can we do a skate that we can make more money from than just selling versions of it? They probably came to him and said, how could you make skate free to play with microtransactions? That was probably one of the initial pitches and ideas, like it had to be like this. It probably eats a couple of these guys alive that it has to be like that. I bet some of these people who did the originals are not happy that this is the direction it's going in, but it's probably one of those caveats that are like, if you want to make this game, it's got to be under these circumstances, or else you could just go back to doing nothing.
Hey, that's what we're here for. I mean, we love this title.
Yeah, I mean, we actually kicked this off last year when we invited a select group of diehard skate fans to play a super early version
Influencers. We asked some influencers
of the game and give us
who would probably drop your game for the next big thing to come along. You know, that kind of influencer.
their thoughts about where we're heading. And you know, I should say, for
Chasing the
context,
clicks.
we've got a lot of work to do. Our community testing is happening in pre-alpha software, which is pretty unheard of in the industry. We spent a lot of time wondering if this was a good idea or not. And at the end of the day, we feel like bringing in players from the start would ensure that we build the best skate game possible. It gives us the best opportunity to move fast.
This is the default option. If you're not willing to pay for anything, this is what you're coming into. It probably wouldn't even surprise me if we don't see much difference from this.
To try.
Like, it might look and run smoother, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is your default boy. You don't even get a shirt. You get some janky ass shorts, a cap, some bog standard shoes, some LA gears, some really cheap ass shoes, and then, you know, it's one of those that's like Fortnite. Like, my friend's got a little 8-year-old. They need the new skins because they'll get bullied. Our friends will be like, why are you still running around as Banana Man or whatever the fuck the basic thing is? Whereas it's going to be the same in Skate. Like, oh, you're still wearing Season 1 trainers and Season 1 hoodies. Why have you not upped to the new Season 7 stuff yet? It's like, can't be asked. Oh, pay some money to do it.
New things and to learn from those things.
And that's why we're focusing on gameplay first, not art and not visuals.
Hey,
You know,
it's
we
some
know
Fallout
we need
engine.
to land the foundation of the game and make sure it's solid before we move on to those things. So, you know,
100%.
the secret sauce is the core toy, is the mechanics, and with your help, we'll be able to do that.
Hey, I'm happy to lend a hand.
Yeah, so now that we've been playtesting with small groups,
I'm happy to get paid.
players
I mean,
and our
lend a
internal
hand.
teams for about a year, we're ready to extend that invite to the broader skate community. While we can't get everybody into the game this summer, we'll be bringing in more and more players in over the coming months. So please head on over to the Skate website to become a Skate Insider and have a chance to play and help build this game with us. This is something
Skate-fluencer.
that Full Circle is beyond stoked about launching, and we can't wait to see you in the game with us.
What's the most exciting thing about getting players into the game this early as developers? I know for me, week by week, month by month, being hands-on with the playtest and seeing the progression in the game has been astounding. It was my favorite part.
For me personally, it was actually before you guys were hands-on. It was like you know, the first 6 months, we were just talking. We were just talking about the vision, presenting like our
6 months of
ideas
talking,
for
eh?
the game to you guys.
Sounds
and
fun.
That gave us a ton of confidence. Like as Dan and Izza and Kuz were talking about earlier, there's a lot of big changes. Like this is an evolution of the franchise, and bringing you guys in early and getting your feedback. Like, yeah,
Other than being next gen and maybe running with like HDR and maybe better engines, it shouldn't be that much of a revolution as they're saying, because it ran fine. I've still got my PS3 plugged in. I might even go throw some Skate 3 on after this. I might even boot up some Twitch and become an influencer. So I don't know why it's such a revolution, other than probably being online with, I don't know, 200 people per map in a session or something like that. Like, I don't see how it can be so revolutionary. 'Cause it's not like breaking new ground.
it is the right way for us to go. It meant the world to us and gave us this confidence to like that we're going down the right path. So
And for me, it's amazing the amount of feedback
I should just
that we
talk.
get from what you tell us, but also just from seeing you play the game. We can get to see how you play, where you go, where you fall, how many hard flips you do. So it's been super helpful to see how you explore and interact with our world.
Yeah, I mean, having worked on previous game, the things that gets me
Yeah.
excited is introducing new players to this franchise, or just because they missed it the first time around. Skate's always been really unique in my mind, because there is no wrong way to play skate. We never tell you play this way. People find their own styles and ways to play.
That's the best thing about it.
I believe that there are a lot of players who haven't
It was a
experienced
really,
this yet,
really,
and I'm
really fun game to
excited
play.
To give them the opportunity to do this.
and to make more skateboarders.
Our
I wish it was that easy to translate over. I have not the balance. I used to rollerblade rather than skate, but I always wished I could
Our
skateboard.
player councils have been super helpful, as well as giving us feedback on our core skate mechanics, as well as letting us know what they'd like to see added to the game and what systems need work to get up to the level and the feel that Darren talked about. You know, things like new systems like lip tricks, which we're adding to the game now, or, you know, tweaking our power slide system to feel a lot better.
Something I'm very excited about, and I know the community is also very excited about, is the
Community.
multiplayer aspect to the game.
Yes.
What is
I'm
that
not. I'm
gonna
not.
look like? What is
So-
that
Don't give a
entail?
shit.
I mean, skate is always more fun with friends, and that's why we're building much more than a linear single player experience. And you know, we want the game to reflect skateboarding.
Is it going to have a battle royale segment as well?
Skating is more global than it's ever been, and it's really about community. It's about community at the park. Like, you may not know everyone at the skate park
The most overused term within the past 5 years is community. Community.
when you go skating, but you're trying your trick, and some Grom is like learning to drop in, and everyone's stoked for him. Like, everyone's kind of there having a collective experience,
That's what
and
it's
that's
all
super
about.
special, right? So bringing players together from around the world is really at the heart of everything that we're trying to do, and making it massive multiplayer, you know, allows us to do.
Fucking chaos. Absolute chaos. Like, great if you can get some room to do your trick, but unless there's going to be ghost options where you can say in an option like, just turn me into a ghost and I'll just go through people because I want to get on my lines, I want to be able to go up here, grind off here, come down here cleanly. I don't want to bump into 80,000 people. Like, no.
Do that, and it's like this huge game changer for us. Like,
Look, he's got people to... He's dead. Grinding over him here.
like you've seen it.
100%.
Yeah, one of the features we should probably talk a bit about is what we've seen with players playing with Collabozone.
Yes, you should talk about it.
Yeah, so Collabozones have definitely been one of the coolest things that we see players interact with. There are these wild cooperative building areas where players can let their imagination run wild and make the most insane skatable things together. We've received incredible
I bet there's some restrictions on this because there's going to be some grinding stuff that... Some proper big dicks in the sky for you to grind around.
incredibly positive feedback and see players gravitating towards these areas and spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, in the playtest, me and my homies would flock to these collabo zones. I mean, they're constantly
Collabo zones. That sounds like a...
changing, and personally, I think it's a great.
Collabo Zone 2000, eh?
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. Like, we saw that in their last playtests, a lot of the game time was spent in the collabo zones. And what was interesting is that this was just with the players finding the collabo zones by themselves. We're not leading them there or telling them too much about it. So that was pretty cool. We saw that one player was building a huge mega ramp,
That was me.
Invited everyone to come check it, and soon a bunch of other players joined in, start building on top of it.
This is fine, but this is almost turning into like skate Minecraft, where you're just gonna have like monstrosities everywhere. It's like, how are they gonna every now and again wipe these areas clean so you can start building again, or they're just gonna get absolutely chaotic? And how much does this affect load time and performance? Like, is there a way of saying, no, I don't want to see this stuff, I just want to be in the actual general world and not in crazy fantasy land?
Took photos and shared it, and it was super fun to watch. This kind of information, just by seeing you play the game, allows us to introduce experiences that are fun to players sooner, adjust designs, and improve tools for creators so they can do more of this for everyone. So
I was super hyped at the beginning of this video.
Yeah, that's just one of the new things.
Kinda
there's
dead
probably
inside
some
now.
worth talking about.
The last game I played similar to this was Steep, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Maybe next time.
Being able to like fly and
Are you guys
snowboard
sure
and
that
do
you
all this other
don't
stuff.
Have a release date for us.
Yeah, so I mean, I could say tomorrow, like Cuz would, but our mantra is, let's not F it up, right? So we're gonna take our time and not put any unrealistic expectations.
2
on,
years.
When it comes
2
to a
years.
launch date, but it'll be when it's ready.
I mean, that's the right way to do it.
But we're excited to be extending an invite to the skate community to play the game in development this summer and in the coming months.
Hey, you heard the man. Go sign up. I mean, I'd love to keep talking, but we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Full Circle working on Skate, I want to thank you for giving us your eyes and ears today and being a part of making this game a reality.
You brought us back, and we can't wait to get you in game.
Can't wait to make all this money off your sad asses. Ah! What a shame. What a shame. I vehemently stay away from any free-to-play games. I think the last free-to-play game I played was Genshin Impact, and I played that for like a few hours, but it just took up too much space on my PS4 at the time, so I got rid of it because I wanted to play some other games. And that was fine, but I was finding it that it was already getting quite grindy. So I don't know how they're going to implement the free-to-play mechanics in this game to make as much money as it would if they were to sell individual £50-60 copies of a physical game. It's the world that we're in, unfortunately, where everything's free to play, or a big MMO or a battle royale. It's just the shitty direction gaming's gone in over the past 5 years, where everything's a subscription, everything's a microtransaction, everything's just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, and some people will drop loads of money on it, loads of kids will drop money on it without the parents knowing. I think I'd go back and play Skate 3, even though by today's standards it's a bit of a wonky game, doesn't run all that great, but I'd rather take a game that is complete on disc as much as it was complete back then. Even by the PS3 games, there were little additions added here and there, but at least the game that is on disc is playable enough. But what a shame. I'll keep on top of it just to see what happens. I might not follow all of these. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe if the next time round they put some stuff out there saying like what will be microtransactional and what won't be, to see like what is the estimations of money they're going to be putting into this or wanting. Because if it's always online forever and ever and ever until it's not, like how much do they want in people to cough up for certain things? What a shame. Let me know your thoughts below on this. Am I being too cynical about the free-to-play option? Are there actually some good options out there for free-to-play? Because all the ones I see just seem to be cash grabs. Cash grabs that are fairly fun, if not bland to play. So yes, thanks for watching. Sorry it's a long ass video. I didn't think I'd be pausing and having a rant as much. I thought it'd be just a nice fun video showing off Skate as it's going to be in the future, but it turned into a bit of a mess. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff with the algorithms. Check the links in the descriptions for ways to follow me and support the channel. Catch you guys in the next video.